Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. I'm Dr. Moby, and today we have great guest with us, Michael, with us from California, right?
That's right. I'm about an hour east of LA in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to our show. So today we're going to talk about COVID hypnosis or COVID gnosis, how you coined it. All right. So let's welcome Michael. Hey.
Thank you. Glad to be with you today.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Michael.
Well, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a stress management consultant. I hold a degree in psychology. I do hypnotherapy consulting to the Unger Medical Group here in Rancho Cucamonga, California, under Jeff Unger, the doctor there. I'm also a published author as well, and just do a lot of outreach to help people right now during this very difficult time.
And that's absolutely right. This is difficult time. COVID has really kind of devastated a lot of things, and we're going to talk about first some of that and then how to handle that. So tell me a little bit about what you have seen. I see that you see a lot of clients with mental health.
Yes. Well, it started with all of us. It starts with our personal lives, of course. And I'm also attached to the entertainment industry. So a lot of my friends in the entertainment industry overnight lost everything. Their career, what made them who they were. They lost it overnight. And worse than the money, worse than losing their houses, was losing their self-being. And so that really affected me in a deep and personal way. And then also, just a few months after that, most other people who had normal, quote, normal jobs and occupations also started having the same issues that all my entertainment friends had overnight. And so I found that, there was pain out there. And even though we're getting vaccines and hopefully some treatments also that are promising at this moment, the psychological aspects, the psychological challenges of the pandemic will go on for many, many months, if not years, for people in their lives, because it's been literally like gas on the flame for psychological issues.
And that is so true. And I think you bring up a really good point. So first is, a lot of people in certain industries were really hit very hard. Entertainment, yes. Concerts, events, yes. Restaurant business, yes. But even, a lot of even medical professionals, which were relying on elective surgeries or even elective procedures, even my business was cut by 50% easily.
Right.
So, and it is just, it was devastating. Yes, the hospitals were full. And I, of course, tried to help for overflow with the hospital situation because being a medical provider, I wanted to help them. But, the problem was the hospitals were not getting paid much either, I think.
That's right.
So that was very hard. They were working and getting no money. And, that was a story pretty much with a lot of industries. Yes, we were busy. Yeah, I could say, yes, we were very busy. Some were in the hospital, some were not at all. And then they were laid off. I know one of the organization near us laid off 1,500 medical providers.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, in overnight or week, and they said we have nothing for you. So then what you gonna do? I mean, everybody has. We all have some kind of reserve a little bit, but reserve is reserve. I mean, even somebody has a lot of reserve. Still, if you start eating it, it'll finish. So then the question becomes, what is the next, right?
Right. And I mean, it's the same in a lot of occupations, but I will say I have medical professionals in my family that are doctors, and yeah, they were triaging and they didn't have enough people to deal with the people in a room. And it was hard. It's hard choices that had to be made, and it's very difficult on the medical professionals.
And then, of course, we see a lot of restaurants and everybody, us in neighborhood, and even people I go outside. So there's a ripple effect, devastating effect, once certain industries were decimated, especially restaurant entertainment, it's going to have a very bad ripple effect everywhere. You see, so as a result, then we all have this kind of new reality. We just walk out with it, and none of ever thought. I mean, and the other sad thing is that we are still in that nightmare. People dying and people, and that's another sad story. So,
Well,
my
yeah, people that are still gonna, there's, even though they're healed somewhat from the COVID, they carry with them these symptoms that continue on, as you know. And so it's not over for them. It's not over in by any means. So it's very challenging to everyone, whether they've been touched directly by it or indirectly by it.
yeah, and then there is nobody like my parents all got infected with COVID, and my brother-in-law, because he's a physician, still got admitted and on ventilator for a month.
Wow.
So hardly got his life somehow saved, but it'll take months for rehab.
Oh, yeah.
So this is very, very sad on every level we can think of. So, and nobody, like you said, either directly or indirectly or even direct hit, everyone. So this is for sure. It's kind of nobody can say that, oh, I'm somehow immune, or I don't see anyone being immune.
No, people are foolish. People are foolish to do that. I'm very excited. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to get my first shot of the vaccine, which I'm very excited about. So,
Okay, great. Yeah, and that's good. I got my both, but still I don't do any parties at all, or I don't do it
right.
because the problem is you never know. So, and why? The question is the big why. Is that an occasion or anything outside to enjoy? Not really,
Not really.
not
Yeah.
really. I mean, best is if you're alive and you are not sick. I think that's the best blessing anybody can take.
No question about it.
So, and then, we have Zoom meetings, and sure, we'll be happy to do those. So tell me a little bit about what are you doing to help folks to deal with anxiety?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, the COVID Gnosis Hypnotherapy program is based on some of the topical issues that people are dealing with psychologically from the COVID issue and the pandemic. So the three main ones, after I researched it heavily, were number one, obviously stress and anxiety. And that causes a lot of other issues ultimately. And then number two, obviously sleep disorder, because when you're not on regular schedules and then the stress added with that, sleep becomes a very different thing. People aren't getting quality sleep. That also takes care of your health in a negative way. And then finally, the other final main prong of that is confidence building, because people now have been detached from everyone one-on-one so much that many people are finding it hard to get back into society, if they can get back to their work, getting back in groups and work. And so the confidence building is very important. And I attach with that on occasion weight control, because we've all been sitting around at home so much, and you just can only do so much exercise at home. And our patterns have changed so much that most people, I know I have gained about 15 pounds during this pandemic, and I walk every day, but it's not enough.
Yeah, and that is a good thing. I think somebody was mentioning people on average gain 2 pounds per month. So, that is a lot, So you're right, everybody gains some weight for sure. And even you're walking, but if you are kind of not doing much and not controlling your diet. And the other problem is the stress you kind of crave for comfort foods, and that
Correct.
brings the next topic is actually, so the culprit is stress. so
Yeah.
so not food, so if you figure out the way to help your stress, then you'll be probably eating less, and that's how probably it normally is, right?
Yeah, that's the core. You're right, and of course you would know that because you're a professional. But yes, that's absolutely correct. It's the stress is the core thing. But also, Dr. Moby, the thing about this whole situation is if you had issues, see in life, people have been going so quickly with their life. They're working, they're doing whatever they're doing in life. So they never really looked at themselves in the mirror much. And with this situation, with the pandemic, people have been forced to sit at home in quiet, many by themselves, isolated. Finally, they're looking at themselves, at who they really are and what they've done in their lives. And it becomes a reflection and it causes all of these issues. So what it does is it sort of has manifested where people need help in dealing with issues they probably needed help for all their lives, but never really faced them before.
And then that, so you have seen probably some of the relationships kind of turning south because they were, grouped together for indefinite times, and then that
Yeah,
puts strain on their relationship. So whatever was the exhaust mechanism before they were going out, it was gone. Okay.
yeah. And they're out partying, self-medicating with liquor and all, what have you. They're having a good full life, but it's covered over the core issues that really have been shading their life and their behavior. And with the COVID, now those things have come to the forefront because COVID's like pouring gas on those issues. And so, it all goes back to core issues, which there's really 5 fears ultimately that people have in their lives that were created when they were very young, before they became adults. Because age 1 through 7, we have what's called the uncritical acceptance of an idea. We don't have a way of throwing away the ideas we don't accept. So anything that goes in our mind when we're children affects and informs our behavior as an adult. And the basic 5 fears that I come down to generally with people are criticism, sickness and aging, poverty, death, and the core main one, feeling unloved or unlovable, rejection and feeling unlovable. So those are things that happen when we're young. For instance, if you're driving in a car, you may be a little child in the back and you're singing to the radio in the car and you're happy. And one of your parents or guardians turns around and says, "Can you cut that out? I don't want to hear that noise anymore." Well, when they do that, you may feel for the rest of your life, I can't go out. I can't be in public. I can't be outgoing. Or it may just be as simply that you just don't feel you can sing. Whatever it is, it affects you. That stays in your subconscious like a broken record. And because of that, it continues to affect you throughout your life. What hypnosis does, which is so wonderful, it helps us to step aside the critical factor of the conscious part of your mind so that we can access that and help you find your own solutions to those issues. And in doing so, live a more positive and productive life.
And that is so true, that there is post-traumatic stress or even trauma, or even, the mind is amazing that it has, it has healing power, tremendous healing power, but you need to first of all know its extent. And it's like, I tell everybody, it's like you see the external bruising because you can see the colors and so forth. The internal to your mind, you can't, except if you have a professional like yourself and who knows what you are going through. And people most of time will just kind of go into this cocoon of sadness, and then they will not come out, and then they don't feel, they lose touch with the reality, or when they had the good days. And
Yes,
so they take this as new normal, being with right after. So, but I think that is sad because the brain cannot tell you itself you are sad.
right.
So there's no meter to gauge you that your gas fuel is empty, or your there's nothing to tell that. But if we educate, and if we say, okay, what were you doing before, or what were you enjoying? Do you enjoy any? No. Are you sleeping? No, much. Yeah, some, or sleeping a lot. Either way. I had a guest not too long ago, and they said, when the COVID hit, he was sitting on the couch for hours and hours, not even changing his clothes, not taking shower.
Right.
And that is because we are sad. We get into this psychomotor retardation mode where we don't want to move or be touched or even bothered, right, for hours.
Correct. Yeah.
And so those are, this is, I think, mind is beautiful as everything, but it needs help. And once you get it, once you kind of push it out, then you got it. You say, oh
Right.
yes, that's exactly what. And I think that's exactly what is supposed to happen. You
Well,
know.
and Dr. Moby, the beauty of hypnotherapy is that it allows the person to find their own solutions. That's the kind of the difference with our friends that are psychologists and psychiatrists who are incredibly talented and awesome. But with hypnotherapy, we don't have a roadmap. So what it does, it gives you the ability, the person, the client, to be able to go into your own mind, explore your own mind, and then in turn find your own solutions, which is really amazing and really wonderful because that's what makes hypnotherapy unique in its own way.
Hmm. And so tell me how people go and book sessions on your website. Tell us the process.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, all of them are done by Zoom. And I want to say that's one good thing that's come from this pandemic because I actually love doing my sessions on Zoom. My mentor, Gil Boyne, who was one of the legendary lay hypnotists, he used to do phone sessions. And I never believed him. I said, how can you do a hypnotherapy phone session? But the truth is, now that I'm doing Zoom, it's really amazing because people feel safe and secure in their home. So all those problems that people worrying about what's going to happen with the hypnotist or in the hypnotist's office are all gone. So it's really a positive to do the Zoom sessions. But my Zoom sessions are available. The Hypnosis hypnotherapy sessions are available. You can contact me at Covidnosis, COVIDNOSIS .weebly.com, or just email me at hypnomesmer@yahoo.com. And if you do that, I will, if the first 10 people that listen to your show today put your name in the subject and request one, I will send them a free audio relaxation download.
Hmm. And I see that you also do a lot of concierge medicine.
Right. That's at the Unger Medical Center here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. His concierge patients, Dr. Unger believes, and by the way, he's one of the top diabetes doctors in the country. I know you've heard of Ozempic. He helped to bring that to market. He's a very well-known diabetes doctor, but he's a general practitioner also. But he believes in alternate therapies, so alternate modalities of treatment. So he uses acupuncture, acupressure, hypnotherapy, because he prefers not to use as much medicine as he can avoid for his patients.
Okay, very nice, very nice. And you said that he does a lot of hypnosis.
I do. I
Oh,
do the
you
hypnosis.
do. Okay.
Yeah, he's a general, practitioner.
Is it in a way? And then you have your website, covidnosis.weebly.com, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And so people book the session. How many minutes your session lasts average?
Okay. Well, if they do the Covidnosis, I can do one-off sessions, obviously, too. But if they do the Covidnosis program, the first one is 30 minutes where I visit with them and get to know them like you and I are talking now. That's my way of knowing how to work with them. And then we do 3 other further sessions. They're 1 hour apiece each.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of each session, I email them an audio download to help them reinforce learning self-hypnosis, because it is self-hypnosis. I'm just teaching them, and it's a tool they're going to use for the rest of their lives to help them keep having a positive experience. So it'll be total 4 sessions. The first one, 30 minutes. The other 3 are hypnosis sessions. They're an hour apiece, and they're very effective. I've had great results.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I see that you've been also aired on a lot of networks, NBC, CBS, all of them, right? So,
yeah, in fact, just this morning before I came to do your interview, I was doing a taping for Autopsy: The Last Hours of from the Reels channel. And it's a fascinating show. They have an excellent MD, Dr. Hunter, on there. And they go back and they do an autopsy of someone famous who has passed away. And they try to dissect it and find out what the real cause of their death was. So I do a lot of media and a lot of TV, yes.
okay, great. Way I love that. So that's a great program. Yes, it's fascinating you shared that. And actually, a lot of my patients who come to me for sleep disorders, I tell them, they try to take some of the medications to help them sleep, and I say, the sleep you're gonna get with medication is never original sleep. Okay, it's never real sleep. Okay, it's just
That's
help.
correct.
Yeah, and help a little bit. But remember, the problem is If you read autopsy reports on all celebrities, and every single of them was trying to sleep more with medication or drugs or alcohol or all of the above.
Every one of them. Yep.
Every one of them. And then everyone reported same thing, that nothing happened before ever. Okay. Only one time happened something unexpected, and that was enough to cause the death.
Hmm.
So what does that say is that yes, there is no predictability, no reliability, because medications are medication. Once you put it in your mouth, it only knows whether it gets absorbed right away or never get absorbed, or it might get absorbed very fast or very toxic level, and depending on what
And,
you.
and and ultimately, it's a cover-up. It's not a solution. It's short-term solution, but it's not a long-term solution. And as you say, with all these stars and personalities, they make it a long-term quote solution, but in the end, it destroys them. And so, yes, it's great to have medications. They're important. They're critical in cases, but also learning how to teach your mind, restructure your mind in a positive way is the long-term solution to sleep disorder.
And that's true. So I say, and they ask me, where they can, and I say, well, best is, communicate with the nature, get positive energy, let your mind communicate, get this positive feedback from the nature, and it has amazing power to heal you. And then, if you fix your sleep, if you fix your mood disorder, and if, like you said, if you do hypnotherapy, or if you do relaxation technique, and then let your mind get benefit, you will be way better off than taking these medication for rest of your life. Right.
Ultimately, that's true, yes. But as you mentioned, there is a place for medication on the
Yeah.
short term. But yeah, long term, the solution is to grab a hold of your mind and learn how to master your mind so that you can retrain yourself and be able to sleep naturally again. So yeah, that's so true.
Yes, and then yes, there is a help, sure, for help. If we get a bruise, or if we get, yeah, we need a band-aid. Yes, of course, we
Of
need a
course.
band-aid, which is normal. We need a band-aid, and we need antibiotic. We need treatment, suture, whatever we need, bleeding, guys. Yes, of course. But remember, still later on, there has to be. It's a shorter fix. So that is so true for all disorders. And then also ultimately comes down to lifestyle, and even the medications that people have on diabetes and so forth. You can be taking medication rest of your life, but if you don't change your ways, you actually do your lifestyle, then unfortunately you are set up for long-term customer of pharmaceutical industry and doctors, myself.
It's true. It's so true. I had an issue, and they put me on a medication. They said, well, once you get on it, you'll never get off. I said, I will. And so ultimately, I was able to get. It was thyroid medication, actually, and I really needed it. But I said, doctor, Jeff, my friend who's the doctor that I work with, I said, believe me, my mind's gonna work on this. I'm gonna get off it. Well, within about 4 months, my numbers went back again, and I got off the medication. It may have just been a fluke, but I always believe the mind controls the body. And if you focus in a certain way and use your ability of your mind, things are possible that people may not even imagine.
Yeah, and that is true. Mind can create miracles if you believe in it. But the first thing is you have to believe in it. So,
Yes,
and then you let your mind work that magic. Uh,
absolutely.
and then it will happen. I mean, I've seen such amazing results with patients sometimes. There were many times patients which I thought I lost them. And then we did CPR for 45 minutes. I thought it'll never come back.
Wow.
Next day, patient worked perfectly fine. Nothing ever happened. and said
Wow.
hello. I said, what? I'm shocked. Oh, I said, what? I'm happy, but I lost hope for myself that, when you do that. And then, of course, on the flip side, we also had who probably heart stopped for only 30 seconds and never came back. So those are, the always, kind of outliers, but basic thing is mind has amazing capability. So
Yeah, well, we're given these wonderful gifts when we're born. It's just that sometimes people that we look up to don't protect our gifts. And these gifts are within us. They're already part of our being. It's just we lose touch with them because of getting older, and also because parents or people don't protect those gifts. But if we can regain those gifts, anything's possible. And so that's the goal that I proceed with people. I try to help them regain the gifts that are natural to us, that are within us, that we've always had, but we've just lost touch with.
And that's so true. Well, thank you for coming to our show. I can't believe we reached the end already, 30 minutes. So, okay, but thank you. And check his website. And it's great. And good thing is you don't need to be taking medications. He'll find a way to help your situation. And he's very well respected, experienced, and so check him out. And thank you once again coming second time. Yeah.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. And thank you. And thanks to your listeners for spending time listening to me today as well. And I appreciate all that you do, because medical professionals, they have a hard job right now. So God bless you, and thanks so much.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.